Hello class, I am Mrs. Rushali Chaudhary, lecturer Praveen Patil, Polytechnic. We are going to learn electrochemistry under subject code 2211 in applied science chemistry. This subject is only for the electrical engineer that are going to deal with the conversion of electric energy into the different applications. In the previous lecture, we learned what is the dry cell. This is the basic unit where the chemical energy is converted to the electrical energy. This type of cell is available in the market under the Everready brand name. We are using this cell in a tape recorder, remote controls and kids toys. This is a low temperature cell which can working under a room temperature. Chances of leakage are very less. It is suitable for the wide range of consumer. It is not going to produce any toxic chemicals. No voltage drop is produced in a dry cell. The EMF generated by the dry cell is about 1.5 volt. It is also called as a Leclanche cell, where the anode is packed in a porous pot containing manganese dioxide and charcoal powder. So we have to select option D, where A and B both are applicable. It is a Leclanche cell is an example of dry cell. Daniell cell example of wet cell. In a Daniell cell, anode is made up of zinc, cathode is made up of copper. Secondary cell, we are going to learn lead acid battery. Lead storage battery, this is a rechargeable battery which is used for your bike and car. What is the principle behind it? The chemical reaction is reversible, therefore this is called as rechargeable battery. You are seeing this type of battery in a car which is having a packing of rubber. Why packing of rubber? Because in that we have filled electrolyte, that is a H2SO4. So it is a harmful chemical, strong chemical, therefore whole battery setup is coated in a rubber gaskets. It is having a H2SO4 as an electrolyte, anode PbO2, lead dioxide, cathode Pb. When we are connected in a series, they are going to produce a voltage. For one cathode, one anode, 2 volt is produced. Here we will observe what is exactly take place during the charging and the discharging. When we are talking about the construction of lead acid cell, it is consist of a lead plates which are connected parallelly with a lead dioxide plates, where lead dioxide are filled in a graphite rod, or which is a paste and made in a lead. Electrolyte is 20% dilute H2SO4 having a specific gravity of 1.15 at a 25 degrees Celsius. When cell is completely charged, gravity is 1.15 and concentration is 20% H2SO4. During discharging, what is meaning of the discharging? When the electricity is produced, chemical changes will take place, lead to the formation of voltage, and that pass through the external circuit. That time it is called as a discharging. The lead plate, which is acting as an anode, converted into Pb two place. Pb metal, that is a lead metal, it's converted into the Pb2 plus, and 2 electrons are liberated by the oxidation process at a anode. So here the Pb plate is going to lose electron. This lost electron pass through the external circuit. Here voltmeter will show you that deflection as the electrons are passed. These electrons will move towards the lead oxide and gain by lead oxide. When PbO2 gaining electrons, it will again form Pb2 plus, that is the reduction reaction, gaining of electron. And again Pb2 plus react with SO4 2 minus present in an electrolyte and going to form PbSO4. Initially, before starting a reaction, lead metal is present at anode, lead dioxide is present at cathode, and both are converted into the PbSO4. Both electrodes are coated with a PbSO4 when the discharging will take place by the loss of energy, and that voltage is about 2 volt. And sulfuric acid concentration is varies from the 5% to 40%. When the charging will take place, we are going to supply external direct current, DC current. When both anode and cathode are covered with a PbSO4 or the lead sulfate, the cells stop working. So it is required charging. When both cathode and anode covered with lead sulfate, they are stops working. They are not producing any type of voltage. That time recharging is required. To recharge the lead storage cell, what happens? We are supplying external EMF, which is having a greater than 2 volts from the generator. At cathode, PbSO4 is decomposed to form a Pb and SO4 2 minus ions. Again at anode, it decomposed to form PbSO4 is decomposed to form PbO2 and electrons get liberated. So in a whole reaction, PbSO4, this is your PbSO4 which is already formed during the discharging. It's converted again to the PbO2 and H2SO4. So as the discharging will take place, concentration of H2SO4 is going to increase. Maximum concentration of H2SO4 take there at the charge position. It is a typically 12 volt lead acid battery which is having a 6 cells connected in a series. What is meaning of the 6 cells? 6 anode and 6 cathode, and each of them delivers 2 volt. Each one contains 2 lead grids packed with a electrode potential. An anode is a spongy lead and cathode is powdered PbO2. Then these grids means metal rod having a small holes in that. Then they are immersed in an electrolyte called as H2SO4. When the cell discharge, it is generate electric energy as a voltaic cell. When cell discharge, chemical energy is converted to the electrical energy. Pb metal is converted to PbSO4. Lead dioxide also converted to the PbSO4. So during discharging, cathode and anode both are converted into the PbSO4. Concentration of H2SO4 is decreases. When the battery is fully charged, anode is the lead peroxide and cathode is a spongy metallic lead. When the electrodes are connected through a resistance, the battery discharge and electrons flow in a direction opposite to the charging. Here we will observe during the discharging, electrons will pass from the anode towards the cathode in an external circuit and Pb metal is converted into PbSO4, while PbO2, lead dioxide, again converted to PbSO4. These are the reactions which are take place in a lead acid battery during discharging and charging. During discharging, PbSO4 formation take place. During charging, PbSO4 is again converted to lead and lead dioxide. Applications of lead acid battery. It is used in automobile for starting and lightning. For lightning of railway trains, it is used at a generation station or substation to operate protective device, used in telephone exchanges, used as a emergency tube lights, used for lighting purposes in a remote rural areas. Another type of the secondary cell is a nickel cadmium cell. What is the difference between the lead acid cell and the nickel cadmium? Lead acid cell electrolyte is acidic, while in the nickel cadmium electrolyte is basic or alkaline. It is also rechargeable cell. Where we are using this cell? We are using for the cameras. The nickel cadmium battery converts chemical energy to electrical energy upon discharge and converts electrical energy into the chemical energy while recharging. At anode, cadmium hydroxide is transferred to the cadmium. Construction of nickel cadmium battery. Anode is made up of cadmium hydroxide, while the cathode is nickel hydroxide. Electrolyte potassium hydroxide, that is a KOH. The reaction which is taking place, that is a cadmium absorbs the OH minus and form a cadmium hydroxide, while the nickel is converted to the nickel hydroxide. During discharging, cadmium is converted to the cadmium hydroxide and nickel oxyhydroxide is again converted to the nickel hydroxide. But when the charging will take place, cadmium hydroxide again converted back into the cadmium. These are the reaction which are take place at a charging process, reaction at anode and reaction at cathode. During the charging, cadmium and nickel oxyhydroxide is restored. And during the discharging, cadmium metal and nickel oxyhydroxide is converted to cadmium hydroxide and nickel hydroxide. Applications of the nickel cadmium cell. It can be used in a single cathode and anode, or it can be used a pack of cathode and anode where two or more cells are connected. These are mostly used for the portable electronics and toys such as the solar garden lights. Which is the same size is approximately same as the primary cell or the dry cell. Miniature of button cells are sometimes used in the photographic equipment, handheld lamp, flashlight, torch, computer memory standby, toys and novelties. Specialty nickel cadmium batteries are used in cordless and wireless telephones, emergency lighting and other applications. This makes them favorable choice for remote control electric model aeroplanes, boats, car as well as cordless power tools and camera flash units. These are the rechargeable, therefore we can use for the camera. DSLR camera we are mostly using the nickel cadmium cell as it is a rechargeable and light in weight. Longer fluided cell are also used in aircraft starting batteries, electric vehicles and standby power. Characteristics of the cell. It is going to generate EMF 1.4 volt when fully charged and having a longer life like 5 years approximately we can use this. Low internal resistance, but it is an expensive cell and we can recharge again and again. some MCQ we are going to solve. The positive plates of nickel ion cell or the nickel cadmium cell are made up of nickel hydroxide. Secondary cells are lead acid cell, alkaline cell. Both A and B are the example of secondary cell. Thank you class. Thank you for your attention.